But you are at a webinar called Is Your Business Ready for an Upgrade in Managed IT? We're going to talk about what that is, what are managed IT services, and we'll have a chance to do a Q&A at the end. So this is interactive, and while we're waiting for just a couple more people, I'd love to know where you guys are teaming in from today. Since we are in Teams, it's not a Zoom. I'd love to know where you're all from. So if you want to just pop that in the chat, that would be great. My team, myself and Kristen, we are in Irvine, California. We actually can see the sun right now. It's almost like that Mark Twain quote, the coldest summer I ever spent was in San Francisco. That's what it's kind of been feeling like here. So today, I think it's actually going to get kind of warm. Hi, okay, Orange County, awesome. That's great. So glad you're here, Angie. Thank you. And thank you, Darren, for letting me know that I was muted. Is never supportive. I mean, we can do sign language, right? So I would also love to know what brings you here today. Are you looking, hey, Orange County again, are you looking for managed IT upgrade? Do you have managed IT? Maybe you're the IT person, even though maybe you weren't supposed to be. I'd love to know where you're at with that. And just a little bit about me. My name is Keelin Conant. I'm the Senior Account Manager here at Kumo. And again, I have with me Kristen Lee, who is my producer. She is also the service board coordinator here. So if you call, you're probably going to talk to one of us pretty quickly. I have spent most of my career in the technology world, whether it was marketing technology, geocoding, and one thing that no matter where I worked, that was a stable was that there are always IT needs and things always go bump in the night, no matter how much infrastructure we have in our offices, whether they're virtual or an actual brick and mortar where we all meet, there's always a need for a new type of technology. And that's something that's just not going to go away. So here at Kumo, we pride ourselves on making IT easy, because we know that it is important to let people have security in their IT and just be able to let it flow easily. So we're going to talk more about our company, but before that, we're really going to look at if your business is ready for an upgrade. And if it is, how you can really, really dive in and ask the questions that will empower you to find a new service provider or even maybe your first one. So we'll talk all about that. We'll look at some KPIs, and we will also go into 20 specific signs. So again, it'll be interactive. Larry, thanks so much for responding. You're in Huntington Beach. Awesome. So good to have you here. And you've been using Independence and the Geek Squad. Awesome. That's great. One thing in business that I think can be sometimes challenging is we don't want to ask for help or support, but sometimes it takes longer to try to figure something out than it is just to be able to have a team who already knows, the answer very quickly. So just like having an accountant, a lawyer, any of those services, managed IT is just as important. So with that said, let's get started. Are you guys ready? Pop a 1 in the chat and let me know. Okay. Woohoo. Great. Okay, as I said, here's the agenda for today. We are going to really talk about why managed services are necessary for any business, no matter what your size. We're also going to look at those key performance indicators of businesses ready for a managed service provider, whether it's your first one or you need an upgrade. A lot of times we get comfortable with the uncomfortability, and we sometimes don't want to take the time to really look underneath the rug, even though there's all kinds of maybe crumbs under there. So hopefully today, my intention is that you're going to walk away feeling really empowered and clear about where you get to go next. Maybe you go through the 20 signs and you're like, I am in such great shape, I am good. Maybe you go through them and say, oh man, I scored pretty high, I need to look at this a little deeper. Either way, no matter what happens, I hope that you walk away feeling, again, empowered, but we also have a little bit of fun, maybe. Okay, we also go through the deep dive of the 20 signs. So I invite you to get a pen and paper ready, or even take your phone out, something like that, so you can track along with those 20 signs. Clarity is the key to any solution, so this should support you. And then we'll talk a little bit about Kumo Cloud Solutions and how we can help. And at the very end, we do have our head of network and engineering, Freddie, on the line. So if you guys have any questions, we're happy to answer those through the chat. So we'll create time in the end for that. Also, as I'm going through the presentation, if you have questions, please do not be shy. Kristen's going to help me kind of gather those. If I catch it while I'm going through, I'll do my best to answer it right away. But if I miss one, just know that Kristen's got our back and we'll circle back to it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so why are managed services necessary for your business? Here's the thing. You opened up your business and you do your work probably not to handle IT. You probably opened up your business so that you could help other people and you could focus on the things that not only matter in the world, but that you like doing. So a managed IT service provider will be able to do all of the things that maybe you just don't have time for, you don't know how, which is fine. We're not supposed to know how to do everything all the time, right? So with this, I just want you to keep that in mind. Now, the Geek Squad is a really good example of a managed service provider through Best Buy, right? They've got those cute little, I drive a Beetle too, so I've got a little soft spot for the Geek Squad. A lot of times, they have prided themselves on being able to be an MSP, and they're a very, very big corporation. And I bet there's been a little bit of frustration when working with them once or twice, Larry. And what's great about a company like ours, Kumo, this is all we do. We focus on the managed services piece of it, and we've got your back. We're 100% US based, and we're a really small but mighty team. So anytime someone calls, it's like you're our only customer, which is nice. It's a little bit of a difference. So back to why the managed services are necessary. I personally worked from out of a home office for a lot of my career. And even though I had a base office somewhere in the United States, a lot of times I was on my own. And I had an IT guy, usually a guy, even though there's obviously IT women in the world, that I didn't want to call all the time because I didn't want to bug him, right? It was one guy and he was trying to manage so many things. So there was a level of confidence that I needed to create with that IT guy in order to be able to feel comfortable with calling him. And that's one thing that a really powerful managed service provider will create with you, is that level of trust. So the other thing that we as managed service providers create is really optimizing your business IT infrastructure. And what is an infrastructure? That means your phone systems, your internet, the cabling, door entry, cybersecurity, all of those things, all of those little components that are needed, compliancy, depending on what your business is, if it needs to be HIPAA compliant or it needs to be FCC compliant. A managed service partner is going to take care of all those things, even calling Microsoft and handling tickets about Word. Your Word keeps crashing, things like that. So a managed service provider is going to look at your specific business and how it's structured and what you need in order to expand it or even contract it. We also monitor your system. So sometimes we don't even know what we're missing. My computer's really slow. I don't know why. That could be because it's getting attacked. It could be because there's a little packet of data on there that doesn't need to be on there. And a really, really powerful managed service provider is going to actively monitor your system 24/7. So you don't even have to do any of that. You just can log in every day and feel really confident that your system and your computer and your client's data is all secure. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't even think about that's really beneficial. Okay, so here are a couple of common KPIs that really support when looking at either a new service provider or just seeing if you need one. So number one is it's a lack of on-site IT expertise. Again, I worked from home for a very long time and I feel so spoiled being able to come to this office and have my guys right over the wall and ask them for support. There's something that's really empowering and they will just jump on my computer, remote in and support me right away. There's just really a beautiful confidence there. And instead of me struggling, trying to figure it out on my own, it's so much more rewarding and a faster fix to be able to just have them come in and support me. So sometimes those IT issues, we don't even know we have them. And maybe you don't have a clear roadmap on how to tackle that current or future IT obstacles. Maybe I know the other day someone mentioned on my Facebook wall that their coworker's email got hacked. And I was like, okay, what are you going to do about that? We don't want it to have happen, but sometimes it does. And it's not anybody's fault. But knowing how to handle those pieces is really, really important. KPI number two, IT is clear as mud. You find it really difficult to learn and implement new technologies, but you know that your infrastructure isn't scalable or flexible, or maybe it's not even up to date. Like you know it, right? Like you know it in your heart, you know it in your gut. You're like, oh, but I just don't have the time to learn it. I don't have the patience. Maybe there's not a budget. And if it's not clear, then it's really hard to move forward. So a managed partner will support you in looking at that infrastructure and really keeping you up to date with whatever tools that you need to be able to really perform in your business. Number three is time issues. So again, maybe you're spending way too much time with IT issues, and maybe that's not even your job. I was on a client site the other day, and I was with a prospect, and one of the women who's this is not her full-time job, she's like, I have all the tickets for Microsoft. She's like, and this it's just she just ended up having all the tickets because she was the one in the office who just kind of knew how to deal with stuff, so it just kind of piled up on her. And she's like, I don't have time to do this because it's not my actual position, right? And she was happy to help out, but it gets to a point where it starts to snowball, right? So having a managed service provider is really, really key so that you don't have that. And then when the time issues go away, your productivity goes through the roof. Number four, there's no reporting. It's really important to have a continuous assessment of your infrastructure. So, you know, I know there's some offices out there who, with more mobility that we have, they have office phones that aren't being used, but they're still paying for those office phones. So that's what I mean by contracting. Our businesses expand and they contract, right? And a really powerful managed service provider will understand that, and we can support in building that infrastructure so that it ebbs and flows with you, which is really powerful. And that reporting will always kind of show you the analytics. It gives you the clarity around exactly what's needed for your infrastructure. And then number five is the bottom line. Who isn't interested in the bottom line in business? So you want a better budget for your IT. Because a lot of times what we're finding is that people will invest in really, really top-notch, awesome security, phone systems, infrastructure, and then they kind of forget and go. And then a decade passes or 20 years. And then all of a sudden things aren't working anymore, right? So this is really a great time to go in and just look at, are there better ways that are more secure and more affordable than doing it the way we're doing it? And a lot of times when we meet with clients, we can find those ways, whether it's your IT or whether it's your internet infrastructure or even your phone system. Things as simple as that, we can find lots of savings often. Okay, you guys all with me here? Let me just check in, make sure you're still awake. Hopefully you're having some lunch while we're together since we're all in Orange County. Drop a 5 in the chat if you're still with me. And again, if any questions come up, please feel free to drop them in there, and I'll do my best to grab it, or we'll circle back. Okay, awesome. Woohoo. Perfect. Okay, so this is where we are going to get out our pen or paper, and we're going to follow along. Okay, so there are 20 signs that your business is ready for IT managed services. We ran through this a couple days ago, and somebody had 15, and then someone else had a 1. So the scale can vary. It's not right or wrong. It's just giving you clarity about where your business is at. Okay, here we go. Number one, your technology infrastructure is not up to date. I already talked about this in the other slides, but this is something that is so important, and it can be a really big daunting task, especially if you've got your business established, you like doing things the way you do them, you don't want to disrupt things, which we totally get, but you also know maybe it's out of compliance, maybe it's just out of date, maybe it's held together with bubble gum and Scotch tape, which I'm pretty sure our internet cabling is in my neighborhood. So it's always good to be able to have a really clear view to see, is it even updated? If you're not sure, put a check mark there. Number two, your IT infrastructure isn't as scalable or as flexible as you'd like it to be. So again, the IT infrastructure, that is talking about your internet, your phone systems, the cabling, security. You hire a new employee. Do you have a procedure of how to set up their computer? Do you even know how to get their computer? Putting their email together, all of that kind of stuff. So do you have that in place? Is it flexible? Are you really clear about it? Number three, you find it difficult to learn and implement new technologies. I already talked about this one in the KPI, but it's time to put a check mark down. Personally, for me, I find it difficult. Sometimes I don't want to learn something new, but in my business, I know I have to, whether it's a new version of Word or they move stuff around when I'm posting in LinkedIn. I mean, there's like technology is constantly changing, and a really powerful service provider slash partner is gonna really set you up so that it's not time consuming to learn something or find a solution that matches more of what you need. So put a check down. Okay, number four, you lack mobility. This one's really big, you guys. It is the 21st century. When I worked in New York in the mid aughts, as soon as they gave me a laptop, I was out of there. I moved to California. I negotiated taking my job with me, and I was out. I'd always wanted to live in California since I was a kid. And that mobility gave me the freedom to be able to go where I want. So that whole virtual CEO, it's real. And there are so many very, very easy, adaptable, affordable tools out there to allow for you and your employees to be to be free. I know that COVID really created some more creative spaces. I've worked from home for so long, it wasn't something new to me, but I think it really opened up the idea that we really can be in virtual spaces in different places all at once and still do our job. So when we look at those managed IT, mobility is a really important piece. Not only is it beneficial for you as a business owner, but also it's very, very nice for employees that I speak to be able to have that ability of a hybrid work environment. They can take their phone with them. They can, grab the laptop, or they can leave it at work. They got the choice, right? Okay, so number five, you lack a centralized network. So that means, let's say, it goes back to the mobility piece, you have multiple offices or you have multiple people working, and there isn't this cloud-based centralized network. Maybe you have an old server, an actual server in your office that you invested a lot in back in the day. It's not needed anymore, and it's even more secure to put it up in the cloud. So, getting a centralized network in working order can be very, very rewarding, not only for yourself but also for your staff. Number six, we're all in California. We're all in Southern California, and we know the big one's always around the corner, right? So that disaster recovery plan in place is so important. It's not just about having a plan for your family and having a plan for your office, but it's having a plan in case anything happens to your infrastructure, your IT infrastructure. What if somebody accidentally presses something and it wipes out a database? I was on another client site, and this company had talked about how once it wiped out it was a CPA firm, wiped out all of their data, and it was really hard for them to get it back. A company like ours is going to take snapshots constantly of your data so that we can recover in case somebody accidentally deletes something. We have all of those in place. Another disaster recovery is, what if there's a fire? That server is going to melt. It's not in the cloud, right? So there's all kinds of different pieces to that as a service provider is going to be able to think about and be able to structure for you, even if you don't know all the details, which is fine. Number seven, you need access to an IT expertise. I would love to say that I'm IT expertise. I've worked in IT for over 20 years. However, I do not know it all, nor should I. We all have our we all have our zones of genius, right? And a managed service provider will have an excellent team of experts who do know those components and those pieces, right? Just like you know your business, we know our business. So having that access and having that confidence to be able to access that IT person. I've also known a lot of IT people in my life, and a lot of times they are a little more introverted, right? So it's kind of like, okay, do I want to bug them? There's that whole conversation. When you hire a managed service provider, that's what we're here for, literally. You can pick up the phone, you can chat, there's all email, there's all kinds of ways that match how you want to communicate too. So put a check mark if you got that one. Number 8, you experience a lot of downtime. So we love to blame downtime on internet providers. Here's the thing, it might not be them. It might be your infrastructure. It might be that there is a little gremlin in your system that you don't even know, nor can you see it because you don't have any infrastructure in place. Not anyone's fault. And a managed IT service provider will be able to find that, diagnose it, quarantine it, and get rid of it, and your downtime will be fixed. And you also get a report as to what happened. So that kind of visibility is really awesome. Not only to mention performance goes up, right? So number 9, you lack capacity planning information. So again, that goes back to the clear as mud KPI. What do I do when my product explodes in the best possible way, and all of a sudden I've got all of this, all of this new income coming in, and I need more staff. I don't know how to plan for that. I don't know what that looks like. I just talked to a gentleman, and he's opening up his own brokerage firm, and he knows he needs to hire about 5 people by the end of the year to make it work. And he just didn't have the visibility about how to do the IT infrastructure. So being able to have that capacity planning information to know what it looks like really empowers us to move forward. Okay, you guys still with me? Drop a 2 in the chat. Just want to check in. All right, thank you. Perfect. Okay, so number 15, you don't have a clear roadmap on how to tackle current and future IT obstacles. So again, this is all about your clarity. Do you know what to do if somebody's email gets hacked? Do you know what to do if you need to hire 5 people? What happens when someone leaves the company? Do you have all of those pieces in alignment? And it's okay that you don't, because this is where a managed IT provider will come in and support you. Number 16, you don't have the people or the time to manage a new technology environment. Who's got time for that? Not you. You're growing your business, or you're getting ready to sell it, or you're working out how to move. There's all kinds of components, and we're here to support you no matter where you are in your journey. 17, you need faster technology deployment. So back to that girl who had all those tickets on her desk, even though she's like, I think she was a CPA, right? And she's like, all these Microsoft, how do I deploy the new version? I got this disk and I have to go around to every single computer. No, it's not like that anymore. We can deploy all kinds of technology. We can do really quick training. There's all kinds of really great things that will save you time and money very, very quickly. 18, I can be a bit analytical, and I love reports and I love data. Data is so powerful, and sometimes it can be kind of overwhelming, especially if we've never seen it before. So having comprehensive reporting and analytics is so important. And it's not about you creating those reports, though you can, but it's really about just having access to them and seeing what's my uptime. What did I have any downtime? Where are my employees surfing the web? How many calls did they make? Things like that are really, really powerful to give you clarity about the temperature of your business. Number 19, you want a better budget for your IT expenses. Again, this is really, really it's really important, not just because obviously the bottom line, but again, it goes back to that clarity of saying, I think there's something better out there, but I just don't have the time nor the bandwidth to explore it. A managed service provider partner can go and do all of that and come back to you and say, hey, this is what we found that's out there for you. And a lot of times you're going to be very pleasantly surprised. Okay, and then number 20. You want to secure technology peace of mind. Who doesn't want that? Don't you want to go to bed every night and just be like, the tech stuff's okay. We got that. No, I do. I'm like, yeah, I don't have to think about that anymore. We've got a team, it's got our back, right? So having that peace of mind is worth so much. We're already stressed out about different components of our business. At least let this one be, in the hands of the experts who really care and know your business and have structured something that's really, really uh, powerful and just in alignment with where you want to go in the future. All right. So here is the recap. I'm gonna take a couple drinks of water. As you look at the recap, I want to give you a second. And if you're feeling brave, I'd love to know how many you checked. This isn't a right or wrong at all, but I'd love to just know, see a temperature check of how many you got. I'm gonna just take a sip of water here. I know when I did this, I think I got like 18, which was also the score on my driver's ed test when I was in high school. Whew. At least 13. Thanks, Angie, for sharing. At least. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty good. Because here's the thing, you guys, there's things in here that we don't think about because we don't have time to think about them and who would think about them, right? There's I think it's a security insurance plan, cybersecurity, right? Like businesses really should have a cybersecurity plan in place. And where do you don't know what you don't know until you know it, right? So there's all of that kind. So I'm really hoping that this sheds some light for you guys, and you can walk away with a little more clarity about some things that you get to tackle. And we can't tackle any of this overnight, right? But just opening up that portal, that conversation is really supportive. Okay, so I would love to switch gears and talk a little bit about who Kumo Cloud Solutions is. Once again, my name is Keelin from Kumo. My last name's Conant, makes it a lot of C's, so um, call me Keelin from Kumo. And who are we? We are an Irvine, Orange County based company. We are a full service IT provider, and we're founded in 2001. So we do offer comprehensive technology solutions. So that is focusing on cybersecurity, managed IT services that we talked a lot about today, cloud computing, unified communications, which is really our phone systems, whether you want a desk phone or you want an app, we can do all of that. Video conferencing, and then security as well, on-premise security. So that means cameras, door entry, all that good stuff. So pretty much, if it's IT, if it's technical, we can support you with it. We love bragging about the fact that we are a 100% US based team, and we provide localized support. Most of the time, we do not have to go on site. It's very rare that we have to, but it depends on what the project is. But we can if we need to. And we love that we can have that level of service. We really, really pride ourselves on delivering reliable, efficient, and cost effective solutions so that you can stay connected and up to date while also just making sure that IT is easy for you. I got distracted because something dinged at me. Okay, so who do we work with? So we work with companies that are local in Southern California, but again, no matter where you are, we always like to have those conversations. Most of the time we work with 10 or more employees. When you start investing in the managed services, around 10 employees, probably 8 to 10 is really a crucial, critical time to do it. Doesn't mean that you can't start planning when you have about, I mean, it's really 3 to 5 if you need to start planning. I am going to offer a call in a little bit here, and no matter what you checked on that box, if you're interested, please just go ahead and book the call. Even if your company's a little smaller than 10 employees, that's fine. We'll have a conversation, and if I can't specifically support you and there's somebody else out there that can, I'm always going to do that. So just wanted to give you that little heads up. So number 2 is you are a decision maker. So you might not be the CEO, but oftentimes, for small, medium-sized businesses, you're the one who signs the checks. You're handling a lot. But we do like to ensure that the whole team is enrolled because we are partners with you. It's kind of like, bringing in a whole new family. So we most of the time work with those decision makers. You're US based. Again, most of our IT clients are here in Southern California. Doesn't mean you have to be, but you do get to be US based. Also, you are customer focused business. What business isn't customer focused? Well, there are a couple out there, but for the most part, we love working with other businesses that pride themselves on top notch, over 5-star customer service. And you love saving money. I mean, who doesn't love saving money, right? So we love being able to look at what your resources is, where things are going, analyze, and just really look at places where you can save more money and save time. Time is money as well. So that's who we work with. And here's our vision. It's always good to know exactly, what our vision is. So we want to help build the infrastructure you need to grow your business with the very best solutions out there and the most affordable. So that's our promise to you. And we have them really awesome. We're not just friendly, we're like awesome. Great team. I love to boast about our team. And our mission is to always understand your business's unique challenges, because we understand that you're going to face things that are individual depending on where you're at in your business journey, what type of business you have. So we really, really love being able to focus and help you get to your next stage, whatever that may be. Okay, here's our services. I already went over these just a little bit, but this is pretty much like the very high overview. But again, our focus is to make IT easy. So we do all of the managed IT services. We have an amazing support staff, unified communication, which again, it's not just phone systems anymore. It can be video conferencing. It can be any kind of document sharing, things like that. It's HIPAA compliant as well as FCC compliant. Cybersecurity. There's such one of the engineers said the other day, and this is so powerful. He said, there is a war going on that we cannot even see. And it's true. It's true. There are our computers, our phones, our watches, anything that's electronic is getting hammered all of the time by other humans, maybe AI. Trying to get into our infrastructures. And a company like ours is spending a lot of time and money and resources ensuring that we are continued to be safe. So we pride ourselves on our cybersecurity, cloud computing. Cloud computing. Again, this is HIPAA compliant, high tech compliant, making sure that all of your data and resources are in the cloud and protected. And then again, video conferencing. We do work with teams, and we can also support with high quality video equipment as well. Personally, I love being on camera, so I love the video conferencing. Okay, so here's just a couple of our happy clients. Feel free to go on Google and go to Kumo Cloud Solutions and read other reviews, but here are just a couple that we picked. We are 5-star rated, which is really, really, really awesome. And our clients are a mixture of, again, the IT, managed services, and VoIP. Again, they're all US based, and I'll just let you read the comments. I'm not going to read them to you, but not because our clients are happy, not only because we keep our word, our pricing is in alignment, our clients' data and phone systems work and are very safe, but we also provide and lead with the confidence that we have the Kumo guarantee. And in this guarantee, we are so confident in our services that if for any reason someone's not satisfied, we'll help you move. And we will, waive the early cancellation fees. We want to make sure that you know that we've got your back no matter what. We will do whatever we need to in order to make sure that you feel really, really empowered. Because again, we're not just a service provider, we're a partner, and we're basically part of your family, right? So when you hire us. So we love to remind everyone about this Kumo guarantee. Okay, so oops, backspace there. So as I mentioned, I would love to offer you a call if you checked anything down today in those 20. We'll have a little Q&A session here, but it's always good to just jump on a 30-minute call, We can get to know each other. We can talk about, what your infrastructure looks like now. Even if you're happy with your IT provider, it's always good just to kind of take an assessment, especially if you haven't done it in the last couple months. And I say months because, again, technology changes all the time. Things update all of the time. And sometimes we can't even see what we can't see. We don't know what we don't know until we know it, right? So I invite you to book just a call. So Kristen has dropped the link in. Thank you, Kristen. And also you can use your phone with the QR code, and all you have to do is open up your camera and put your thing here, and it says open in Chrome or whatever your internet is, and then you can book the call or open up on your phone. Some people like to use their phone, some people like to use their computer. That's fine. And in this call, once you book it and we complete it, we will provide you with a compromised credentials report. And what we can do is run up to 5 of your employee emails and just run them through the dark web, see if there's any compromise, and then we go over that report in our second call. So I invite you to do it. That's about $597 value just there for the free compromise. So we get to have a quick conversation just to see where you're at, and then we can go over the compromised credentials report. So there is the call. Okay, Larry, I see. Phone system is and has been Kumo for years. I only have 4 inside staff. I have a few salespeople that have IT issues from time to time, and why I'm on this. Okay, great. So Larry, let's chat. So I would invite you just to book a call, and we'll just talk about what those issues are and see if adding the managed IT services to your Kumo is beneficial. It probably will be. It'll probably actually get your salespeople even more productive and efficient. And I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for joining us today as a Kumo phone user, which is great. Okay, so yeah, book a call and we'll chat more. Okay, that's it. Easy breezy. 38 minutes. So if you have any specific questions, I do have Freddie on the line. He's our head of network engineering. And I mean, I can be pretty technical, but he's like, he really can put the tech down. So if you guys have any questions, we're happy to stay on for a couple more minutes. If you enjoyed this today, please drop let's do a 3 in the chat and let us know. And again, I really hope that you're walking away with more clarity, that that it's been beneficial and worth your time. Your time is very, very valuable, and I really appreciate you being here. So awesome. Yay. Thanks for that, Angie. So again, with that said, feel free to book a call. Kristen, can you drop that link in there again? And you can always call our support staff. You can call our sales line with any questions, and we will see you on the next one. This is part of the Kumo Connect series, so we look forward to doing even more of these. I think next time we're going to talk about our Kumo phone system. So Larry, I think we'll have you on and, sing our praises there too. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, thank you so much for your time, and we will see you soon. Bye for now.